If you want to learn to process emotions, you literally need to do nothing. Like, don't do anything. The problem that a lot of us have is that when we feel uncomfortable emotions, we try to escape from them. So we try to think about them, which is a form of escape. We try to go distract ourselves. We try to talk about it, which is also often a form of escape. Most of you are not processing anything when you're talking about it, because you're literally like giving someone like a full dissertation about your personality, and you're just thinking. You're thinking, which is not feeling. Thinking and feeling are not the same thing. And so in order to process an emotion, what you really need to do is you basically need to sit in pain, and you need to not escape that pain. And that's why how in an emotion process, because you feel the pain, it kind of sends those signals to you, and the signals get sent and then they go away and then it's gone. And as long as you just sit there and don't escape it, you will go through that tunnel. Like, you will go through that tunnel of emotional discomfort. And because so many of us have sort of learned that we can't handle the emotional distress, or we shouldn't handle it, whichever, we try to distract, we try to numb, we try to escape, whether it's escaping through scrolling or escaping through just intellectualizing, which is just like thinking about the emotion and like doing like Freudian level analysis on ourselves of why we're feeling this way. And basically, when we do that, we don't feel anything. And there's another issue with this, is that we don't increase our distress tolerance window. So distress tolerance window is basically like, how much emotional pain am I willing and able to feel? And the answer for a lot of us is not that much. And so, because we don't practice, right? Like, we don't practice. And because the world is filled with so many distractions, it's actually easier and easier to escape emotional pain. And so when people talk about processing emotions, literally just what it means is just like literally just sit there and don't do anything and just feel pain. Obviously, this advice in this video might not be the most popular, but I'm going to tell you how it is, and I'm going to tell you what actually works. Please note that this is not for people who have like mental health conditions. They should actually go see a trained professional that specializes in mental health conditions. I work in performance. And so what I'm talking about is increasing human performance, increasing your ability to get the things you want in life, to achieve your goals. Because a lot of you will have all these goals in your life, and then you won't understand why you're not striving towards them, why you're not making enough progress towards them. And it's because you don't have a wide enough emotional tolerance window. You don't have a wide enough distress window, because you keep wanting to avoid uncomfortable emotions. So like when it's time to work on your startup or whatever, like you don't do it because you're like, oh, maybe this will fail, and then you feel fear. But instead of sitting there and just feeling the pain of the fear, you go and distract yourself with something else, or you procrastinate, or you do whatever. You just need to learn how to feel the discomfort, and then your window will increase. And what will happen, something really cool will happen. You will teach yourself, because your mind watches you. So the way that you watch a movie, like you watch a movie and you make you infer things about the character in the movie. So when a character acts in a certain way in a movie, you assume like, well, this one's a really hardworking person, this one's a really ambitious person, this one's a really lazy person, this one is a good person, whatever. So you make kind of conclusions about a person's personality from watching their behavior in like a movie, right? Your mind does the same thing to you. So basically what's happening when you can't tolerate distressful emotions, and you go and numb yourself, you go distract yourself, you go do whatever, you teach your mind, I am the type of person that can't handle this. And that self-identity is really dangerous to build, but you can undo it. So what you need to do is, when you feel like that emotional distress, you just need to just practice sitting there in the pain, and then your mind will see you and be like, wow, she can sit there and handle this. Like, we can handle this. And then next time when it's time to like do something difficult, like work on that goal that you've set out, and you feel fear, right? You will be more likely to sit there, feel it, and then go do the thing that you wanted to do. And that's how you actually get yourself to move towards your goals. And that's how you process emotions. And that's also how you build a stronger self-identity and a wider emotional distress window. And that's really important because then that builds resilience. You become a more resilient person. The amount of things that are able to shake you and take you off your path is going to be less, right? Because your window is big. Like you can handle a lot, right? And right now, a lot of us have like a small window. Like, geez, like the smallest thing can like derail us. And we're like, oh no, I need to start scrolling. I can't handle this emotional discomfort, right? And so hopefully this helps. And I do think a lot of people talk about emotional processing and nobody understands what they're talking about. And a lot of us are just sitting here like, how do I get better at doing the things I actually want to do? So this is how. And it might not be the most popular advice, but it is something that works.